Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Rob here, nice to see you. Yes it is, today's video is going to be very colossal, pun intended, but we're going to be having a look at Gigantamax Coalossal here, which is a very interesting Pokemon, a very versatile Pokemon as well. In terms of abilities, it's got Steam Engine. When this Pokemon is hit by a fire or water type move, its speed is increased by 6 stages, which is absolutely amazing. Second ability, Flame Body, 30% chance to inflict burn if they're hit by a physical move. Not a bad ability by any means, but definitely not the preferred ability on a Coalossal here. And hidden ability is Flash Fire. When this Pokemon is hit by a fire type move, it will increase its fire type moves by 1.5 times damage, which is not a bad ability, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's super useful here on Coalossal, because if you're not running Steam Engine, then you probably don't care about being hit by fire type moves anyway, considering you've got lots of fire resistance naturally anyway. I've also just realised I've never spoken about the weaknesses part here, but you know, Coalossal is 4 times weak to water, which is very bad in a meta game with lots of water type Pokemon, and also 4 times weak to ground type moves. You know, we're all looking at you over here, Excadrill. So that's just a note. Right, let's have a look at see if any moves. It does have a signature move called Tar Shot. The user pours a sticky tar over the target, lowering the target's speed stat. The target becomes weaker to fire type moves, which is an interesting move, to be honest with you. It's just not super viable on such a slow Pokemon like Coalossal. So it's not really relevant, unfortunately. It's a cool idea. Again, just not very relevant, unfortunately, which is a shame. Flame Charge, not very useful. +1 speed isn't going to help here. Same with Rock Polish. Heat Crash, interesting. Can make a good max move. It's got Burn Up, which can make, you know, you can remove your fire type weakness. Again, don't really think this is very useful. Solar Beam, good coverage there. Self-destruct, interesting. Rock Slide, good stab move. Will-O-Wisp, interesting. Bulldoze, nothing too interesting there. Flamethrower, good move. Overheat, strong fire type move there for Coalossal. Flare Blitz, a very strong physical fire type move. Earth Power and Iron Head, also very interesting. You can boost your special defense and defense. High Horsepower. Scald, also very interesting actually for Coalossal here. Body Press as well, you can raise your attack. Alright, yeah, so that's pretty much it there. Doesn't have the widest move pool, but it's got what it needs to work, you know what I mean? G-Max Volcliffe, a rock type attack that Gigantamax Coalossal uses. This move continues to deal damage to the opponents for 4 turns. So this is basically exactly the same as G-Max Charizard's G-Max move. You know, it deals damage over 4 turns, and as far as I'm aware, the only Pokemon that are immune to this are rock types. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure rock types are immune to G-Max Volcliffe. Right, let's have a look at its base stats. 510 base total, which is great. 110 base HP, which is massive. That's great. 80 in attack, 120 in defense, also absolutely great. 80 in special attack, 90 in defense, and 30 in speed. Now, on paper, those stats aren't too bad. Of course, 80 attack and special attack is not great. You know, it's not going to hit very hard. Thankfully, for weakness policy, there's a great strategy you can use with a G-Max Coalossal here. But it's got nice bulk, it's got a nice HP stat. Base 30 speed is absolutely garbage, but it's great for Trick Room. And as you will see very soon, with its signature ability, Steam Engine, you'll be very surprised actually. Right, yeah, and I mean, it's a cool looking G-Max Pokemon, you know, you can't hate it. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I can dig it. Right, so let's go over to Pokemon Showdown here. Here we are. Right. First set here, very standard weakness policy. Most people are going to be running weakness policy on their Coalossal. It's a no-brainer. You know, you'll see why, but steam engine is the ability of choice. This does raise your speed +6 when you're hit by a water type move. Okay, this is a special set I put together: Heatwave, Ancient Power, Soda Beam, Protect. Now EVs, it's a modest nature with 28 in speed. Now after a +6, you're going to outspeed Dragapult. Okay, this will give you 216 speed after a +6, which again outspeeds the most fastest relevant Pokemon in the metagame, which is Dragapult, which is absolutely huge. Rest is put into a special attack here to help with damage output, rest in HP. I mean, again, G-Max Coalossal is very versatile. You could run 252 speed EVs with a positive speed nature such as Timid or Jolly, and this would allow you to outspeed the likes of base 100s and up to base 110s. And slightly above that after if they're under the effects of Tailwind. So if Whimsicott does Tailwind to support, say, Durant, for example, after a +6, Coalossal is still going to be outspeeding it, which at a Jolly plus max speed EVs, which is nice because you could take it out with a fire type move. You could also run 100 EVs to outspeed the likes of Charizard at +1. I don't think that's super relevant because Charizard isn't going to be doing anything to you anyway. So honestly, that's not really super relevant, but the option and details are there if required. Now on the second one, we've got a physical Coalossal. Exactly the same again, exactly the same EV spread. How you choose to speed EV your Coalossal is entirely up to you. It's a Pokemon that can work in so many different ways. You could run max speed Adamant, you can run Jolly. It's entirely up to you. This is supposed to be Adamant, my bad. Right. Personally, if I was going to run one, I'd probably look at something like this. You could run max speed for mirror matches, but I had a different idea on how you could counteract mirror matches. For the moveset here, I've got Rock Slide, Flare Blitz, Iron Head, and High Horsepower. Again, you can take, say, Iron Head off and Protect. This way, though, you have a way of boosting your Coalossal's defensive stats, as well as boosting your partners, for example. Just checking Volcalith here. Yeah, Volcalith is a rock type move, so unfortunately you can't set Sand up whilst being G-Max Coalossal, because it would give you that +1 special defense boost to rock types, which is really nice. But Setting the Sun is also quite nice. You know, weakens those water type moves. Right. Again, you could also run this. You could run 0 speedies, and you can make it you know, brave or quiet. You know, really make it slow, but obviously with Steam Engine, that's probably not a good idea. But we're going to go into some teammates now for Coalossal here. So firstly, we've got Dusclops. Now, you might be thinking, wait, we're going for fast Coalossal? Not always. If you're going for a mirror match and you see someone else who's got an obvious Coalossal team, you know, they've got that Dragapult, they've got that Coalossal, you could also lead with your Dusclops Coalossal. You could protect Coalossal, set up Trick Room. Then the following turn, you could do a Bulldoze, make yourself slow whilst activating your weakness policy, which is another great way you could run Coalossal. If you don't want to go super fast mode, you can go super slow mode, which is quite nice about Coalossal. It works both in Trick Room and out of it, depending if you're... I mean, you have to be careful. If an opponent hits you with a water type move under Trick Room, obviously your slow Coalossal's just turned into a fast Coalossal, and of course under Trick Room, that's going to make you super slow. So that is something you do have to bear in mind, but it's an option, okay? You can Bulldoze, set off weakness policy. You could also add Brick Breaker for Bulldoze if you want. I personally chose Bulldoze because this would also lower your speed, effectively making you faster in Trick Room, which is really nice. Second partner, and probably the most common partner for Dragapult, is none other... No, sorry, the most common partner for Coalossal is none other than Dragapult itself. Has access to probably the fastest Surf in the game, which would obviously activate your weakness policy as well as your Steam Engine. This is a very popular set that Wolfie VGC has made very popular. Double screens to add to that bulk. Dragon Dart, so Dragapult can still dish out some heavy damage once it's done its job. Focus Dash just for that survivability. Very, very standard. Jolly, max speed, max attack. Nothing else to say about it, really. Obviously, you Surf, give your Coalossal a boost. Of case, also remember, though, Coalossal will be taking a 4 times super effective hit from this, and it will do a significant amount of damage. which is why there's no special attack IVs there, just to minimise it as much as possible. And there's a bunch of Surf users as well. You've got Pokemon like Weevil, Tyranitar, Raichu. There's a handful of Pokemon that can use Surf. Weevil's another good one actually, because its special attack is super low. The only problem is it's a base 125 speed Pokemon opposed to Dragapult. If you was a mirror match and you didn't have Dusclops, obviously, I mean, it wouldn't matter that much because the opposing Dragapult would set off your own steam engine. But Dragapult's generally the better one there. Weevil does have access to that, like that fake out support as well, which can be helpful. Other partners what are great are Pokemon like Primarina, Blastoise. There's probably more as well, but the reason is because it has priority Aquajet, which this means it can do even, I mean, this will do even less damage than Surf, like much less damage. Aquajet is a weak type, is a weak move. Primarina doesn't have the highest attack stat. You can do 0 speed attack IV, sorry, and you can activate that steam engine and get going, which is very useful. The only problem is you have to watch out for Indeedee Psychic Terrain, because that will block priority moves, which will then prevent you from setting up. But Primarina is also quite a nice Pokemon to stick on Trick Rooms, you know, if you did want to run it on a Trick Room team, which is useful. And lastly, a good partner for Coalossal here is Gastrodon. Once you set off your steam engine, or you've set up Trick Room and you don't want to activate steam engine, and providing you've activated your weakness policy, you're going to have to watch out for those water type moves. Coalossal is 4 times weak to them, and it will die very no, sorry, not die, it's a bit dark. It will faint very quickly to a very strong water type move, and they are fairly common. So Gastrodon is a great partner in terms of this. Of course, you still have to watch out for spread water type moves, but Gastrodon for the most part will suck up most of these with his Storm Drain ability. Of course, you can customize your Gastrodon however you want. You can make it bulky, you can make it offensive. Of course, this is supposed to be Storm Drain, that's my bad. But yeah, you get the general idea. Gastrodon's going to protect Coalossal from those opposing water type moves that it does not want to take. Yeah, so that's pretty much it really. Coalossal is a very versatile Pokemon. It has a great move pool. You could also try running a mixed set. The only problem is though, you would have to then sacrifice one of your attack stats or a defense stat, which would not be very favourable. But there you go. But let's go over to Pikalytics now. Right, so here we are with Coalossal. 4 most popular moves, we've got Protect, Rock Slide, Flare Blitz and Solar Beam. We've got Ancient Power down there as well. Ancient Power isn't very strong, so it's Special Coalossal isn't the strongest. You know, Physical is stronger compared to the Special variant, but the Special one is immune to that Intimidate. It doesn't care about that Intimidate attack drops, so that's something to bear in mind. Right. Partners, we've got obviously Dragapult there, we've got Primarina, and we've got Dusclops, which is you know, pretty standard. We've got Gastrodon down there as well. Weakness policy is obviously the item of choice here, as well as Steam Engine. You're not going to run anything else as far as I'm concerned. EV spreads for the most part are very simple. They're either Adamant or Modest with max attack, special attack and speed. Again, like I said, Coalossal is a very versatile Pokemon. How you EV train its speed is entirely up to you, and will depend on how you want it to work speed-wise on your team. You know, if the more you invest in speed, the faster, the slower it will be in Trick Room. So you have to bear that in mind as well if you are running in a slow and fast mode team. Let's go over to Babry.net now and have a look and see how G-Max Coalossal has been used on teams. Right. So here we've got Coalossal and Dragapult. This one's got Primarina, Dragapult, Dusclops and Coalossal. This one's got Gastrodon and Dragapult here. Primarina and Dragapult as well. As you can see, most of these seem to have Gastrodon, Dusclops and Dragapult, which is quite amusing. Primarina and Dragapult. Pilepa there, it's quite interesting. Dusclops, Dragapult. Milotic as well. Can also set off with Surf, I suppose. Primarina, Dusclops. Yeah, so as you can see, Gastrodon and Dragapult seem to be very staple for old G-Max Coalossal here. Again, Coalossal is a great Pokemon, to be honest with you. It's a very versatile and it's a very scary Pokemon. Rocks, again, it's a G-Max Vocalith move. Very irritating side effects, exactly the same as Charizard's. You know, you don't want to be taking that passive damage every turn because that really racks up. I'm fairly certain rock types are the only Pokemon immune to it, a bit like fire types being immune to G-Max Wild Flames. But yeah, Coalossal is a great Pokemon. It's great for working in Trick Room and out of it. It's very versatile, and how you use it is entirely up to you. I hope you've found this video useful though. This is a Pokemon I really wanted to cover because I think it's very interesting and it looks pretty badass as well, ain't gonna lie. But I hope you find it useful, and if you're interested in using G-Max Coalossal, I hope this guide helps you. If you have any different ideas for G-Max Coalossal, let me know in the comment section down below what your ideas are. But until then, I will see you all later, and Rob out. Goodbye.